just before Christmas, down at Picton, where I've been living the last little while, my neighbour had me and my kids across for a little while, and just 2 days before that his father had suffered and survived a massive heart attack that would have killed any of us, of course, 15 years ago, but he was in hospital, and his son, Ed, Peter is the name of that man, is a scientist but also a poet, and we were mucking around and jamming on the instruments and so on, and Ed said, "Have you got any poems?" So I recited a haiku that I could recall. One of the great things about haiku is that they're only 17 syllables, so you can sometimes remember them. And he said, I know. We're going to do this thing. We're going to set up a conversation in haiku between my dad and you, both of us needing some healing of different kinds. And over the course of January, we've managed to write 100 haiku, which is quite something, and the project is very beautiful because it's been a use of right language, right words in the right order, and the disciplines of grace involved in making things, attending to the seasons and the scene and the feeling, and constraining yourself in the beautiful way that haiku constrains you. And we've made 100. We're going to do something with it. The project is kind of beautiful. I thought I'd just share a couple of these to give you a bit of a sense of poetry's work, where I think it manages to be powerfully political because it shakes us out of the lethargies and laziness that we spend too much of our time within, self-critical and others, and invites us back into the fullness of ourselves in the world. Here are just a few. Gifted at letting all things pass. Trees in rain mourn all I cannot yet. Gifted at letting all things pass. Trees in rain mourn all I cannot yet. Then Peter writes, forecast rain, windy, dry days, many half haiku, nothing completed. That's a beauty, actually. It's got the spirit of Isa in it. Along the gorge, gums flower in light rain. Above all this, the eagle. Think what lives that elms outlived, barely stirring. Leaves thin, summer passes. Here's some I wrote just the last few days. I wake 4 floors up this morning. I wake 4 floors up this morning. You notice the doubleness of language? Poetry trades in that kind of, that could be read 3 different ways. I wake 4 floors up this morning into kindness, as if I'd earned it. My mind, that old wreck, will start up soon and tell me I'm wrong, but I'm not. Nothing you need to, actually I'll read this in the other order. Hard this living, sometimes. Road rage along my neural pathways. Rain most days. And then Ed particularly liked this one last night, and I'll close with this one here because of its it was moving. I watched him be moved by it. It is interesting to see how poetry does perform magic. It's not my magic or the poet's magic, it's poetry's magic, and we make ourselves available sometimes and don't get too much in the way of it. I think nothing you need to. You've done it all already. Sit in sunlight. Love. Frogmouth on the wire. When I walk out late tonight, there's a frogmouth on the wire, halfway up Elizabeth Street. It's her silence that gives her away, the one mute thing in a bedlam of possum croak and Corella backchat. The moon swaddled in overcast, and the birds a soft night light burning in the hall. She holds a charged meridian, and from where I stand below, she looks like that thing for which there never was one name: love, truth, emptiness, grace, only form and metaphor. She burns with herself, half hunger, half ease, as ready for sleep as for death. She is everything the night is not. She is everything the night is not. Everything it is. I stand a long time waiting, but she waits me out. till a slim rain starts to fall, and I turn and walk away. Last night, so I thought I'd read Frog Nocturne. It goes like this. Your whole life missing who you might have been, when all along you were out there, everywhere. The last moon of autumn pulls the sheet up over her head. Beside you in the light the study casts, your shadow stands and smokes your last cigarette. Down in the drowned paddocks, the frogs are using all your best lines for free. The wind rises and walks out into the night, way too little on, and tries to shake the stars down from the sky, which is what Devorah Weiner does, I think, in her work. Just very, very quickly, because there have been a lot of words, fine words, I think, among them tonight. I met Devorah when she came to learn a little bit more about the poetics, I guess, of this PhD, of this research work that she'd done, of her work, that she came to a creative writing class of mine, and of course proceeded to teach me and everybody else really how to live and how to write. So it's given me a lot of joy to become Devorah's friend, which I have done, very closely through important times for both of us. And it is, of course, a delight to be held in such regard by her as her friend, but also as a writer. And it honours me to be able to be here and help her launch this fabulous book, and I hope all the parliamentarians do get to read it. But if they don't, we're going to read it, and we're going to talk, and we're going to change our lives just a little bit and do some small things. And we're going to talk to Elizabeth Farrelly about the book, for example, and Elizabeth might write another one of her wonderful columns. She's a great gift to all of us, Elizabeth, I think. Anyway, Devorah, lots of love and thank you, and here's Devorah to read from the book, I think, a little, and say some words about all this.